Are you guys ready for another emergency meal plan? Today's emergency meal plan that I have made for you guys is a little bit more than $6, and it is going to feed my family of 5 breakfast, lunch, and dinner for one whole day. This is what I would do for my family if I was trying to make it to payday and I needed one more day of breakfast, lunch, and dinners just to get us through until we can get paid. So let's get started. I want to tell you what you're going to need to get. I have priced everything by my local Walmart's prices. Now, it may vary by region, so if you live somewhere different than East Tennessee, because that's where I'm at. But these will be pretty much the same, give or take a little bit. So you're going to need to purchase a dozen eggs. Priced at my local Walmart, $1.67 for 12. 1 pound bag of white rice, 92 cents. You can get brown rice if you prefer. It'll be a couple cents cheaper, not much though. A bag of frozen mixed vegetables, 98 cents. 1 can of evaporated milk. It is on rollback right now at my Walmart for $1. 2 pound bag of self-rising flour, $1.54. Now this next item you're going to need to purchase, it is going to be by weight. 2 bananas. Now the app says it comes out to approximately 20 cents per banana, but it's all depending on the weight. Mine actually cost 32 cents for 2 bananas.
Your shopping buggy should look something like this,
bringing my entire total to $6.43. And I'm going to be able to feed my family breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we are a family of 5 for $6.43. So without any further ado, let's get going. Let's make some breakfast. These are my bananas. I threw these in the freezer after I purchased them. You notice the stems are gone because I'm not going to pay for something I'm not going to eat. So I break off the stems. But they're frozen. I'm going to let these sit out for about 30 minutes before we get started on breakfast. Have you guys ever heard of poor man's bread? Poor man's bread is a very simple bread that kind of has a biscuit-like texture. And you're only going to need 2 ingredients. Now you're going to need some milk, which I'm using evaporated milk because it was cheaper to get this. Now what you're going to do is just use equal parts water with the evaporated milk, and it's going to be like a regular milk. And you're going to need some self-rising flour for this. You don't need yeast, you don't need baking powder, because self-rising flour has baking powder and salt already added. That's the difference between all-purpose and self-rising. All-purpose doesn't have anything added to it. Self-rising has baking powder and salt already in there. For breakfast, we're going to use this idea. We're going to use the base of poor man's bread, but we're going to make it banana poor man's bread. Okay, guys, just jumping here to let you know that I'm going to be using very minimal pantry items. Very minimal, and I'll show you as we go. Poor man's bread is a no-knead bread recipe. You just got to mix it. It's super easy. So we're going to need 2 cups of self-rising flour. There's 1 cup, 1.5, and 2 cups. I'm going to take my evaporated milk, and we're going to do equal parts milk, equal parts water. If you're using just regular milk, you don't have to add the water. Just use the full amount of milk. So after you have mixed your evaporated milk with equal parts water, I'm adding in 1.5 cups of the milk. There's 1 cup, 1.5 cups of milk. And give this a really good mix with a whisk. It's going to be kind of like cake batter. Now, my bananas. I'm going to smush them up really good. I'm going to throw these in my little tiny blender to smush them up. I'm going to put a little smidgen of water in here to help it when I puree it. I pureed my banana. I had to add like a 1/4 cup of water to this just to help the banana puree. So I might have to add a little bit more flour just to make up for that water, the liquid content. About a 1/4 cup more of flour. Now this is very simple bread. It is called poor man's bread because that just means it's very simple ingredients, 2-ingredient bread, and it's kind of like a biscuit or a scone. And adding the banana to it is going to make it a little sweet, give it a little bit of nutrients. It looks like pancake batter currently. I'm going to add just a little bit more flour because of that liquid content, about a 1/2 cup. So total amount of flour I used 2 3/4 cups of flour. Normal, everyday poor man bread, you don't use that much flour. I just had to add a little extra because of the banana. It smells really good. I'm not going to add anything else to this because I'm trying to use minimal pantry ingredients. Now, if you have it, you can add a little vanilla. You can add some egg if you want to make it more dense, but I like it like this because biscuit dough is perfect for me. And you can add cinnamon, you can add nuts. I have my loaf pan here and I put some parchment paper at the bottom. I thought it might be easier to like lift it out of there. Instead of greasing the pan, I'm going to grease the paper. There's our batter. I'm going to pour this in here. I'm going to bake it in a preheated oven at 350 degrees. And I'm going to let this bake for about 25 minutes or until it looks done on top. You know, ovens vary. I'll let you know. Here we go. Going to pop this poor man banana bread in the oven. While our breakfast bread is baking, I'm going to go ahead and prepare a little bit of our dinner. But because I need leftover rice for this, we're going to be making a fried rice for dinner. So I'm going to go ahead and cook that whole pound bag of rice and put it in the refrigerator for later. The entire pound bag of rice. I'm going to rinse it off really, really well. Have y'all seen these? Have you seen these little rice cookers? They're microwave rice cookers. When my rice cooker broke, I got one of these. I got it at TJ Maxx for like $6 or something like that. I can't really remember. But it makes great rice. It just takes a hot minute. But I'm going to go ahead and do it with this because I don't want to get out my big rice cooker and this is easy. I've even seen these at Walmart hanging up on like a little end cap recently. These work really well and make great rice. This actually cooked for 32 minutes. But it's done and it smells just like a banana. I'm going to let this cool before I take it out of the pan. Woo! Poor man banana bread is done. You can see how it looks kind of like a biscuit or kind of like a scone. If you have some butter in your house, you can melt some butter on top. You can put butter on the slices of bread. Anything you want to do, you can do it. Smells like a big old banana. It's still warm. You see how this plate I had it on is curved up? It's kind of difficult to cut that on that plate. Soft like a biscuit. So for breakfast, everybody gets bread. Banana bread. Perfect breakfast. Small, light. So simple. I'm putting a little bit of butter that I have on hand. You don't have to do this. I just seen it in the fridge and I was like, I'm going to use it. Now this poor man's bread is a very simple bread. It is so basic. There's nothing fancy about it. But basic is good. And the banana makes it pop. Eating it warm with the butter, so good. So you could definitely add some sugar, brown sugar. You can do cinnamon. You can make this your own, add a lot of things, but I'm just showing you the base. But you won't go hungry. And that is the point of this. That is the point. No hunger pains on my watch. We got some basic poor man's bread with banana. If you wanted to, you don't have to put the banana in the bread. You could smash the banana up and smear it on your regular poor man bread. And that's great too. I just ate that entire slice. You're probably wondering, what are you going to be making for lunch, Brooke? You said you were going to be making fried rice for dinners. So what are you going to be making for lunch? Well, I thought about this, and I think we're going to make kind of like a savory custard-esque bread. Maybe like a quiche style with eggs and flour and some milk. Maybe a little bit of seasonings from the pantry. I have my handy dandy bowl here, all right? And I went ahead and got out all my eggs. I'm going to save some of these eggs for dinner tonight because we are doing the fried rice. I want to break in my eggs first just to make sure that I don't put any shell in there. Because I've noticed if I do my flour first, I can't see shells if I break shells in there. You know, I don't want to do that. I don't want to eat a shell. So, cracking these first. Okay, see that right there? This is why I did that, because that just flew right out of there. Into these eggs, I'm going to toss in about 3 small pinches of salt, 2 pinches black pepper, a little garlic powder from that pantry, because this is a basic seasoning that most of us usually have. Let's do a little bit of onion powder too. I'm going to pour in the rest of my milk, and it looks like it's about 1 1/3 cups of milk. Pour all that in there. I'm going to do, about a cup of self-rising flour. Give this a good old mix. You could also make these in a muffin tin. They'd be really good egg bites, and they'd be really puffy from the self-rising flour. Or you could definitely put cheese in here. If you have cheese, green onion, spinach, tomato, just whatever you have in your house. I'm sticking to the base that we're making right here. It looks like this self-rising flour is going to be difficult to get all the lumps out, so it's going to take me a second. I suggest that you sift your flour, because I have been doing this for what feels like forever. A casserole dish here, and I greased it up. Pouring this. Like I said, you can definitely do this in muffin tins if you want to, and add anything you want. But we're doing basic, and I'm going to pop this in the oven on 350 for about 25 minutes. Woo! And it's done. This cooked for 30 minutes. She's solid. Well, this is what she looks like. This is an emergency meal plan, so we got to have things simple here. But if you have it, some cheese and bacon on top, beautiful. If you have ketchup, ketchup is good with this. It smells savory. You can smell the onion powder. You can see the layers. It creates like a layer as it cooks. Like there's bread, egg, and then bread again. It kind of, look, like I'm serious. Look at this. I think it's so cool. Every time I make one of these, I don't know the science behind it, but it does it, okay? It kind of creates its own sandwich. Bread, egg, bread. Don't believe me? You can even lift it up and you can see the difference. It like separates itself somehow. It's so cool. So we like to eat these like sandwiches. And I like to dip mine in a little bit of ketchup. Like this. Good. The only thing that I would do differently is add a little bit more salt. I'm actually going to put it on the inside under that layer. Just needs a little bit more salt. I didn't put enough in it this time. But the way it separates itself is so cool. You can put mayo and tomato on the inside. You could put bacon and cheese. You could do so many things with this. This is essentially a breakfast sandwich. This is how we eat it. I dip it in ketchup. It's delicious. It's a great lunch. It's filling, full of protein. It's time to start dinner. Oil to a big old pot. My veggies are still frozen, so this is a steamable bag. I'm going to pop this in the microwave for about 2 minutes just to thaw them out a bit. I had 4 eggs left over out of that dozen, and I cracked them in this bowl, salt and pepper. I'm going to whisk these up, set them aside until I need them for the fried rice. My oil is pretty hot. Toss them in that whole bag of veggies. I'm going to saute these veggies until they're cooked thoroughly. That's not a pretty piece of carrot. Take that out right fast. Fried rice is probably one of the cheapest meals that you can make. It is one of the top 10 cheap meals that you can make that taste delicious. Using a lot of pantry staples. You got veg usually, protein with the eggs, you have green with the rice. Years ago, I thought fried rice sounded so intimidating. I thought there's no way I can make it taste good, but it is one of the most simple dishes you could make. It will always taste good. Like, no matter what seasonings you use, it's going to taste good. Nobody can mess this up. Now, what do you like to do? Do you like to cook your rice before you add in the egg, or do you like to scramble your egg before you cook the rice? Me, I can do it either way. It doesn't bother me. Today, I'm going to add in the egg before I cook the rice. Just going to scramble the egg. Alright, perfect. I have that rice that I cooked earlier today, and I'm just going to, it's still cold, so it's going to take a minute to get out of this little container. There we go. Seasonings, garlic powder, generous amounts, a pinch of salt, a pinch of black pepper, a good amount of onion powder, and of course, pantry staple everybody needs to have, because it will come in handy, soy sauce, however much you want. This is the bad part about using cold rice. It stays in clumps. Look, some of that don't look gorgeous. And it made a ton. By the way, this is my gigantic pot. It is huge. Alright, we're going to call it. Dinner's done. Beautiful fried rice. Can't mess this up. Ooh, looks delicious. This looks like it came from a restaurant. Ooh, if you can see past the steam. And everybody gets a plate this big. And we might even have a little bit of leftovers. Alright, y'all. It has been a long day. I have done approximately 8 loads of laundry today. With Dusty's help, of course. But shoot, laundry is never ending. Alright, I'm ready for this fried rice. This is bomb. This is better than restaurants. And it has more veggies too. Another emergency meal plan. Damn, we did it. So if you or your family or anybody you know is struggling to put food on that table, do not be ashamed to go ask for help. If you dial *211, it will give you a list of local establishments in your area that can help you with food and other things that you may need. Whether or not times are tough, money's tight, or you just want to save a buck or two, this meal plan was delicious. It was simple to put together, and I've had a very busy day, and it didn't stress me out cooking. So this was a winner emergency meal plan dinner. That didn't rhyme, but I tried. I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm going to go enjoy my fried rice now. I will see you guys next video. Remember, as always, be positive, be kind, be happy. Let other people be happy. Don't go raining on nobody's parade. All right, I love you guys. I will see you later, taters. Bye.